Series in honor of Hall Man Publishing and Frank Fiore, host of the Frank Fiore Show. Frank, how are you? And we're going to be talking to Dr. Muhammad today to continue to help authors. How are you?
Good, good. Looking forward to this to show some AI examples, which are just very important, like we did last time.
Absolutely. So let's kind of just dive into this, shall we? Go right back to the questions that you guys have. And I know you have more and more questions for Dr. Mohammed. So let's dive into them with Paul or Frank who wants the first question.
Go ahead, Paul.
Go, go ahead, Frank. Yeah. Um,
Okay. Well, I think that let's return to the idea of helping authors maybe work on a plot point or something like that. So I would say let's show an example of an author asking AI, saying that it's stuck on a particular plot point and looking for suggestions. So how about we try that?
Yeah. Can you repeat the keyword? You said flat point? I couldn't hear well.
Yeah, an author might
Mhm.
be wants to expand on a plot point. Okay,
Oh, plot point, a plot point,
and
P-L-O-T, yeah?
yeah,
yeah,
Okay, okay, plot point. And you may have multiple different scenarios that you could use for that plot to diverge into, yeah?
correct.
Yes, yes. So
So,
yeah, I think this is a good use case. In the marketing world, we call it A and B testing. When we test two messengers for the same crowd. Maybe I can share my screen and we try something. Yes, I have the share screen here. Okay, do you guys see my screen?
yep, see it.
Okay, so first we need to give a context. So is a plot about what, and maybe even if it's not about the book exactly, but just a small context for the AI.
Okay, well, I'll take one of my books, for instance, which I've
Yeah.
already published and what have you. But let's say that I'm writing a scene that deals with you know one of my historical fiction novels, and it's
Mm-hmm.
dealing with a graduation of the flyers of the Japanese naval flyers off of aircraft carriers.
Mm-hmm.
And he was having a discussion with with an admiral who believed that the airplane is really just used for reconnaissance and not to use as a weapon. And
Uh-huh.
so they had this discussion, and I would like to have an AI's response of how would the young pilot, the young carrier pilot, would um, respond to the admiral who's stuck on the battleship theory as opposed to the airplane theory. Let's see what
Stuck in the battleship
the battleship theory. And,
theory
yeah, and
and
that
not believing in the how you call it, airship theory
in the airplane as a naval weapon.
as a naval weapon. So I'm typing what you were saying,
Hmm.
and then we want to know. So here is what I'm doing here, which you can also use, is that you can start by giving the context. I'm writing a historical fiction novel of World War II. I explain that scene, yeah,
Yep.
and then of an graduation day of a young Japanese naval officer, yeah,
Hmm. Pilot
and
too. You pilot
naval officer and pilot.
right.
Is it his name is Injin?
I'm sorry.
The name of the pilot is Injin? Injin?
No,
Oh, I
no, no.
forgot.
The name of the
No.
pilot no. It just doesn't make any difference with the name of the pilot.
Okay. So so we have this. We have this stuck between two styles of Warcraft. Yeah.
Yeah, an
And
argument between the
yeah.
two.
So what? Give me two different plots on how this interaction could go. And what I think is useful to also say here or ask the AI is like, which style do you want to compare? Like, do you want like a contradictory? Do you want a style that they go against each other, or they go together, or a compromise,
An
or he
argument.
avoid, you know,
An argument.
confrontation,
Against-
confrontational argument.
Yeah.
So two different plots on how this interaction could go as a confrontation. So let's just throw this to the AI and see what it can tell us.
Yeah, it's probably going to want clarification, but
Yeah, so a bold confrontation, wing of a new era, tense, idealistic, visionary tone, Naval Academy near Yokosuka Naval Base. So we didn't give context, it's making some for us.
that's good.
So it's a generational and doctrinal clash, which I think this is quite interesting. It's both a doctrine of war and a generation approach. So
Yeah.
that's plot one, bold confrontation. And then you have the summary.
I like what AI said. I mean, the way they fleshed that out, named the base, the year.
Yeah,
That,
it's very good at that, and it understands. And then the outcome here is that so he even gave a name to persons, leave the meeting ostracized, but with deepened resolve. He later became one of the architects behind Japan's early air strategy. Okay. Two, a subtle undermining. So the long game. Quiet, calculated, dramatic irony. Tea garden behind the Naval Academy following the graduation. Toast, strategic, misdirection, and internal politics. So then it turns politic. And then so these are two, it's more evolved than what I was expecting, because it created the context. But what we could do here is that if you have your book, how many pages is your book?
It's 3 volumes.
The one that concerns this plot.
Volume 1. The volume 1. What was it? Something about in the gods. What's the name of that, Paul?
How many? 100
Volume
pages?
1.
200?
100 pages, or at least 200, yeah.
200, and one page has 500 words, 1,000 words?
Each page probably 250 words.
250 words and 200 pages. So that's 200 pages, 250, that's 50,000 words. The AI, some AI models could load the whole book and be able to reason about the book and get the full context.
Right. Okay.
Because what we call, I don't know if you heard about the context size that AIs have. Context size is how much data you can give to the AI to put in their mind and think of it. And some AI models, they have 150,000 tokens, and 150,000 tokens is about 120,000 words. So here we have 50,000 words, which is half of the RAM memory capacity of that AI. So it could swallow the book and give us very precise plots that are adapted and following the book itself, instead of inventing new characters.
And so if you sort of like one of the plots, but it isn't exactly what you had in mind, you can continue to ask it questions.
Exactly. And let me show you what I was saying, because I think that will be I'm trying to. What was the title of Frank book? Is Engine, I think.
I think in something in God's Wings, or do you remember?
Yeah, no, but with his name, we can find it. Quest for Justice. That's volume 3.
Yeah.
But here we have his author page. Okay, so let's. I think volume 1 is where he has many.
Sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
Okay.
This one was volume 1.
There it is. The first one is
Yes.
No, not the Quest of Justice. That's the third book.
That's the third book. So there is a first book.
Yeah, there should be a first one.
Here, this one.
Here it
Book
is.
2.
No, not that
Here,
one.
this one,
In
in
the
the hands
hands
of
Yeah,
gods.
in the hands of gods.
Yes, okay, cool. So let's do this. So I'm gonna say, I go back to the AI and say, good, but adapt the plot to my book, see information here. And instead of inventing new persons, it will take the from your story. But also, Frank, I was saying that AI models can receive a lot of data now. So we could feed the whole book to the AI model for it
Oh.
to go through and understand, and then give you two plots that align it exactly with your story. And I was explaining that some AI model can take up to 120,000 words, which means you
Wow.
can feed it a whole PhD thesis and talk about it. So you can feed it your book and get a better. So you see here in the hands of gods with Connor Williams. So he got all the things, and I think was it Yokosuka naval base? That was correct.
Which what? I'm
The
sorry.
naval base was Yokosuka naval base, because I think it's still making up
Oh,
the
yeah,
place.
yeah, yeah. It could be there. I don't remember, but yes, they were at a naval base, a training base. There was a
And
graduate.
Admiral
There was a grad.
Tanaka.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that could be it. I don't know. I'd have to go look at.
Yes. There are two ways to give authenticity to your story. If it's complete fiction, then you ask it that these are all fictional. But if you want it to be history related, it has a lot of historical facts in the memory, the AI models, and they can go back to specific battles, specific writers about specific situations in World War II, and pull the real general names, the real soldier names, and real events that happened during the World War to make your book have like some touch points with real history, if you wish to.
Yeah, what's amazing about this, it actually gives you dialogue to use or to
Yeah.
look at. I mean, it's just amazing, and of course, I have it already written, but this is just amazing. If they're
Yes.
saying, "Gee, I have
Uh,
a confrontation. What is it going to look like?"
so I just say, give me an image of this confrontation. So maybe you don't put visuals like a manga or something, but just to show again what the AI can do, and it's multimodal. So it can give us text, it can give us images, and let's see if they understand the context that it's World War II, Japan environment. I didn't give any style in terms of image, but let's just see what it does. Uh, we can take the next question if you want, Frank or Paul, the time that this
Yeah,
image
yeah.
generates.
I have one. Since you have mentioned that you can upload your whole book,
Yeah.
can an author have AI analyze the book to see plot point misses and not grammar and stuff like that, but is it truthful as far as the history goes? Is it does it have a major plot point missed or anything like that? Can it analyze your already written um, script?
Yes, and I think it's very good at that. And actually tested it 2 months ago about specific historical events, and it was very precise, and it even understands the political context of those events. So I think yes, I think it can do a very good job for that. Okay, the image came in,
Yeah,
and you see it did the style. It knows that it's Japanese people, World War II style. Uniforms are probably matching that era, and an old officer and a young officer. So yes, so Paul, yes, you can feed the whole book. The AI, the AI, is a logic machine, so it can follow the flow of your story and tell you it doesn't make sense because you said that this guy died before and now he's appearing. So what do you do? Is this a plot or is this a mistake? You can identify the illogical points.
Good.
you
Yeah,
said you,
I think that's important for authors who sort of a hesitancy toward AI that
Hmm.
that that after so okay, you write your whole book yourself, but then AI can help you manage the quality and the content
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for just as quality control or auditor, it can audit your book. It can do a quality control. You can even score your book in terms of emotional impact on the reader. It can tell you how much impactful in terms of sadness, happiness, motivational impact. It can even score you at that level, because these are the things that for us, especially I imagine as a writer, you're so much into your story that sometimes you're disconnected from a first reader reaction because you're used to that story every day, and you lose
Right.
touch with that first impact. And I think AI would be a very good feedback on that.
Well, I like to, if we could just switch
Mhm.
approaches. You said you could, and you now can take a whole book
Yeah,
and could you ask AI then to say, here's my book. I want to list it on Amazon. I need the description and I need the tags and the meta tags and all that SEO stuff. Could
yeah.
it,
Let's try. Let's find a small ebook in PDF now
yeah,
and
and
try to.
compare that to the listing on Amazon that's now and see what the difference is between it.
So we feed your book, because I don't have your book right now. I'm trying to
No,
find a
I'm just
PDF.
saying, you pick an ebook.
Yeah, I'm trying to download the PDF.
Want to get a comparison between what AI would do and what and the listing and all that and what's posted on Amazon. That
Yeah, so for Amazon, I think it's not so much about the whole content of the book, but it's about how you call it, maybe the synopsis, the title, the punchlines, and
yeah,
those first 150 words. I think the game is being played on those 150 words and the image, because the AI will not have access to the other book content unless you feed your competitor book content and your book content, and then you do a book-to-book analysis, a content-to-content analysis, which can be also quite revealing, if you know that a book was successful and you want to understand what is the style, what made that book successful, and that the reader made so many good reviews. And then you can ask the AI, tell me what's kind of the secret of that book. How did it hit the reader so that they can leave good reviews? And then you can adopt that style or adopt the kind of plots or the twists or whatever is in there, the language. That I think can work very well. I'm not sure if I can find a PDF quickly, because to find a PDF that can be downloaded immediately, sometimes it takes time. But let's assume I will prepare one next time. Just like we did last week, I took your page and I took the competitor page and I gave the two links. So you can do the same thing with PDF files. So you can upload two PDF files and tell it, this is my book, this is my competitor book. Go through it and tell me how I can make my book better based on this book was very successful in my
right. We did
in
that
my
last
category.
week, and yeah, it was very revealing, and we gave a lot of good information.
Yeah, so it can reveal even more on the book content itself, because that's what we do at the programming level. We take a whole software that has hundreds of thousands of lines of code, which is like a book. We take two softwares and we
Mhm.
tell it compare the two in functionality, in user interface. Even though we just gave text, there's normally a user interface that will appear. The AI is able to visualize the user interface from the text. And likewise, when you will give it a text of a novel or a book, it will be able to visualize the emotional engagement and scenery of the book. So I think you can leverage that. We can maybe find two ebooks, and next time we can do a live test.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's why to show authors the power of AI as a coach, as an assistant, not write the book for you.
Yeah, yeah, it can play so many roles, and that's why also when you start interacting with the AI model, you tell it what do you want that AI model to be. So you say, "You're my marketing assistant. I want you to help me promote the book. You're now in marketing mode." So you have to tell the AI in which mode they have to switch. Or you say,
And I'm going to jump to this. This is where
yes,
you have to be an AI whisperer, and we're going to have a conversation on your podcast today about that. Because the biggest thing is you try to develop this relationship, and the relationship changes and changes and changes again. That's why hiring people like you, Mohammed, and you,
mhm,
Frank, and you, Paul, at least keep up with that technology side of things, because what works today won't work tomorrow. And Paul, I know you saw that thing IBM fired 8,000 workers to replace with AI. Basically, that came out, and it's using their new software they got rid of every HR person from IBM and replaced it
Yeah,
with software.
yeah,
So
that's
really,
not unusual.
and this is IBM. This for IBM's using. I forget their program, but this program is going to be sold to everyone to replace all the people on different teams and different things that we don't have the capability. So that's the question I have for you, Dr.
mhm.
Mohammed, is that the AI we get is not the AI that IBM is going to sell to other corporations and stuff. The ability of automation, the ability to do all these different things that AI can do.
Yes, of course. These guys, they have different resources than us. They have engineering teams and so on, but still we can benefit from the AI at our own level. I think you don't have to use. So let me give you my perspective is that let's say the spectrum of possibility with an AI model, even ChatGPT, is 100%. Maybe you and me and Frank and Paul, we're only using 0.5%. We're not exploiting everything because we don't have the tools, but that 0.5% of access to that AI model can double, triple our performance already. So I don't think it's a limitation. And as we grow, we learn how to use the AI, and then we, just like our brain, Neil, the studies that we don't use so much of our brain capacity. And then through some experiences, meditation, I don't know what, then maybe you gain another 1%. With AI is the same. You enhance your prompting, you know how to whisper, you know how to give context, you know how to give files and so on. And then you explore, you open more and more of the spectrum of capacity of the AI model.
Yeah, but we're going to be going live later today,
Mhm.
introducing the new things that ChatGPT just launched, where they can share screen, control your screen, be able to do certain automations, but not with voice, which is stupid. But
It will
again,
come. Yeah.
it will come. It's just not coming yet. But now you can connect your Gmail account, and it was working for a second and stopped working. So we'll talk about that. And you always told me
Mhm.
don't go into things when they launch them. Wait. And again, I'm
Yes.
jumping, and then again, I'm going and just saying, "Oh, I'll push the button." Maybe I shouldn't have pushed that button that's going to destroy things. Go ahead, Paul. Who's last question for today's conversation was, which is amazing.
Um, let me find one real quick here. So, oh, how about audiobook production? I mean, beyond the voices, right? Because that's what people are sensitive to one way or the other. But how 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 can AI help with audiobooks production or what in anything in that area with audiobooks?
Oh, it's very good. So if you had told me video, I would tell you it's very hard because videos are limited to a couple of seconds. But audio, you can feed. So text to audio and audio to text works very well with AI. Very, very well. So you can go ahead, you can feed a text, a book, and ask it to give a certain voice to each character, plus the narrator voice. So you could have the narrator voice and the character voices, and it will match and play with that, and it will recognize dialogues and it will recognize tones. It's very good at that. You may have to combine a few models, like one model that provides the voice type, and one model that uses those voice in the dialogue. But sometimes the same model can provide you multiple voices. So that should work pretty well, Paul. The safe way is to go with just narration, one narration voice, and then you say, I want a radio show kind of voice with a deep voice, or I want a fun, punchy marketing kind of voice, and it will regenerate for you that the
Yeah,
audiobook.
I think
Right.
we should do that next time we meet. Actually, take a section of one of our books and just have it say,
Yeah,
read
yeah.
this. It's audio.
So there is that AI model, Notebook LLM. I think it's from Microsoft, that does podcasts. So you give it like a theme and it creates a whole podcast with two people talking. And it's the two people talking are AI models. But they do a podcast like human. They say, "Oh, yes," and they do those intonations and poses, and you can tell them they speak as Californian way, and they would do that. So it's getting very good for the voice, and I think it's usable at a professional level already. And the other thing that I want to say is that with the audio, with text to audio, you don't have the limit that we have with the with text to video. With text to audio, you can create a 3 hours audio file in one go. The AI models are able to produce that even more in one go, one file.
Well, that's going to put a lot of audio book producers out of business if it works that well.
Or it will allow them to create more audiobooks both ways.
Yeah, true, true.
Does this answer the question, Paul?
Yeah. So I use
Yes.
11 labs and I'm setting up for one of my clients and we're basically
11 Labs
great.
they have amazing voices.
So you basically have to record for 30 minutes and it will duplicate your voice completely. And then you
Yeah.
plug it into the specific deals. We tried one with that country, one with it didn't work out, Frank, when it was involving that thing because of pronunciation. That's going to be the biggest challenge is taking all those words, putting them all into a book. They showed the costs. It's going to be $200-300, I'd say, to do it from beginning to end if you were just looking at materials. To do it with 11 Labs, a book of 10,000 words or less,
Hmm.
you record your voice in a very good place, but then you got to listen to every word and see if they are pronunciating that word correctly to put it into the audiobook, which is going to be the biggest part of the challenge because you're going to have to listen to the entire book and you're going to have to listen to say, oh, did I hear this? I probably would throw it in Descript if there's a way I could take the audio and look and listen to see if there's specific
Mm.
areas to clean up first and then go to the second cleanup after. But that's the problem. If you have a book that has difficult pronunciations, that's going to be hard. But you have to
Yeah,
work
there
with
is.
a voice actor the same way.
I don't know if you tried, Neil, but what you could do is that you can use another AI model to give it the book or the text and tell it, transform it so that it works better with the 11 voices and make the text in a phonetic way, not in a well spelled and grammatical way, but phonetically.
Mm.
I want
Mhm.
it to sound good, and it will rewrite that thing so that phonetically it will be pronounced in the right way.
Paul, Paul, we could take one of the Westerns since they're all under 8,000 words, or under 10,000 words. Just
Yeah.
try that next time.
Yeah.
Create an audiobook and see what it says.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
try, and you can tell it cowboy accent. Like they stand on the I, they stand, and you will add double I or whatever is needed to make it sound like a cowboy.
Can AI help explain to authors how this all works? What parameters they need, what requirements are from from producers of the audiobooks and things like that. I mean, it can do that, yes, right?
Yeah, definitely. It can even compare for you multiple. It can even advise you which publisher or which partner to work with and compare them in a table. I like to do like we did last time. I like to put things in tables when I want to make a decision, like a decision matrix. So I think that's also a good. I know it's hard for maybe creative people to work on like a squared and rectangle, but it's very useful for you to ask the AI to summarize for you in a table because it gives you a very fast look and decision making point. So usually I will tell the AI, I need to source this kind of product or services. Uh, Compare to me the top 5 players in the market with quality, price, speed of output, reviews, and specialization in the market. And then it goes and it reads their website and tell me, yes, for you, this one would be better because it checks this box and this box and this box.
When you're writing a book and you describe a character, it's
Mhm.
can AI when it changes into an audiobook, can AI read that character that's in print he was a such and such and did such and such and did such and such, and then adapt the voice to that character.
I think so, yeah. I think if you give elements to the AI about the age, the origin, the location, the time in history, and then maybe like some elements. For example, you say, I don't know how you say in English when somebody speaks like a, when there's that thing in your voice, or the character stutters, I think in English. So if you give those precisions and as much detail you can give, like he breathes heavily or he speaks a bit from the nose, they will be able to really create something nice if you give that level of details.
It's great.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right. So, all right,
yes.
fantastic. Best place to go is frankfihori.com, thehollowmanseries.com, and rtila.com.